just store it all up, and then eventually we process it and just put it into balls for use.
So how do you process it?
You just melt it and kind of stir it all up, and then
All the stuff
shape it. Yeah, you wash out all the pollen first, pollen and honey. So just get a ring on the inside. So this does two things. It gives them material where they need it immediately to start repairing their entrance tube or building their entrance tube from fresh, and it also narrows the entrance while they're vulnerable, so that it's harder for predators to get in.
Yeah.
So as they get stronger and they need a bigger hole, they'll remove it themselves, they'll chew away. But at the beginning, having a smaller hole gives them a smaller area to defend. So I've kind of halved the size, both the front and the back.
So how quickly will they seal it up?
Seal it.
Oh, sorry. Will they use it? They'll use it straight away.
Yeah, I think within about a week there'll be the beginnings of a solid entrance tube behind them. Yeah, and they'll start guarding within hours. Oh, yeah, within hours. Yeah. Probably 8,000 to 10,000 bees inside, and probably only 2,000 of those bees will have ever been outside before. So know where they live in relation to the outside. The other bees are still house bees, so they only forage in the end of their lives. And we're going to crack this open. A lot of the bees that fly are house bees who have never been outside. So if we do the split over there instead of here where they live, they'll find it harder to get back.
Yeah.
So forager bees, will do this thing called piloting after this. They'll fly in and out, showing the cloud of bees where they live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, piloting. This is cool. Rarely do I get to see the top in the process of the split as well. And you can hear it's not much of a crack, but it's fairly well sealed there with propolis. And I just check to see how it's... Oh, perfect split. Couldn't have got a better split.
Wow.
So it's split right at the advancing front. If we were super lucky, we'd see the queen, but she's not there. She's down in there somewhere. So that's the newest brood. This is the oldest brood. And you can see here is a queen cell.
Yes.
And that's the only one I see there. There's another one down here. Yeah, that's a beautiful split, and they're both heavy. This is nice and heavy. So we've got, I can see down that there's quite a few layers of brood there. Are there? Yes, there are. So we've got half of the brood in each. So perfect. So that half's going to have the queen, very most likely. This one has a queen cell which is going to emerge in the next few days. So virgin queen will mate from this half in the next few weeks. So just make sure that that's tidy, so it's going to sit flush.
Sorry, girls.
Yeah, there's always a few that don't make it, and it fits perfectly to your box. Oh, yeah, but that's not your half. Your half is the bottom half. So have you ever had the honey before?
I have many years ago.
Okay, you want to dip your finger in there?
Yum. Yeah, it's got that.
Oh, that's
almost
a really tart one.
Yeah, citrusy. That's still delicious.
Super tart. So I just looked through the back as I put this on. I want to make sure that the slump bars don't damage the brood or cause any big honey spills over the brood, because honey over the brood will drown it a bit.
So you don't deal with too many losses, do you?
What do you mean?
With the bees themselves when you're doing splits.
I would say that every split you probably lose 50 bees. You know, probably 10 get crushed in there, 10 get crushed in there, and then there's probably a handful that just end up dead on the ground. So, yeah, you do. Doing a split we're doing for our sake as beekeepers, not for the sake of the bees. The bees would be better off if we never disturbed them at all.
Oh, I understand that.
But I mean, with splits with slump bars make them break away very nicely and evenly and quite cleanly. You reduce the losses really, really well.
Yes, well, pesky humans will be pesky humans.
Yeah, and you know, you could argue that this is one unit. It's a colony. It's one reproductive unit. So these are just like cells in a body. That's one thing you could argue, whether it's right or not, I don't know. So I just make sure that that's all lined up nice and flush, and it really sits. It's very nice and sitting on it really good. Just really put that down. And you can see if I put that back, look what's going to happen.
They all straight in.
Back. And this one's going to sit there. So if it's possible when you... Oh no, you've got this one. Yeah, so I'll rest this on some little rocks or something so that it's...
Oh, yeah, until the feet.
Yeah, and then those ones I'll probably get down to put some...
I'll remember that for the future. So you guys set these up at schools or anything like that? For education purposes?
Tim does sometimes, yeah, and I do, not in my work for Tim, but I've got a group called Be Aware Brisbane.
Oh, okay, I'm part of that.
Oh, okay, yeah, so with Be Aware Brisbane I put them in schools. But at the moment I've only got 4 schools with hives at the moment. Okay. So I kind of, last couple of years I've done a lot of school visits and stuff, and I'm just getting a bit busy and I'm still very passionate about it, but I'm getting tired.
No, it's understandable.
So I've got a hive that's going into another school it's supposed to be in the next few weeks, but I haven't really sorted it out. And then, it's something that still interests me, but I'm actually putting a little bit less time into it at the moment than I was.
Yeah.
So the other thing I'm going to do is write the date of the split.
So you're record keeping?
We've got a computer, but it's also good to have it on here in case you can't see. And this one goes back, and to begin with they're going to be a little bit confused because that's not their entrance. And so they'll go in and out a bit. And obviously this is tetragonal carbonate.
Yes.
See? And so I'm working this.
Lots of pollen on their legs.
So I'm just going to block this up, so I'm going to put a little bit of gauze in the back, just with a nail, and then a bit of gauze with a pipe in the front, so they can still get a bit of air.
Okay, so how long can they survive like that? I mean, not that I will be keeping them there for days.
So when they're air conditioned, so right now Tim's driving to Sydney, he's got I think 4 hives in the car. Air conditioned, they'll be fine for the drive. So a couple of days. But if it's not air conditioned, then it's this time of year, you wouldn't want to leave them in there for more than 24 hours. And if they're kept cool, they can last for a few days.
Okay.
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 days.
They'll be in here for maybe 2 hours. And it's all right for me to open them up when they're positioned? That's fine?
Yeah, totally. So make sure you've got them in exactly the position that you want, and then release them. And that sits very nice and flush, so there's no need for tape on the outside of that. Just check that one too. That's the same. Yeah.
Take them up for the drive, and they'll be in air conditioning for a while.
And you are now a beekeeper.
I'm not going to go that far. But thank you very much, Toby.
No worries.
Excellent, and one hand old. And here the girls are in their new position, a new home. And they seem to be doing okay. They're flying around everywhere. Exciting stuff.